Israel continues the strikes. Israel strikes landmark residential tower in southern Rafah as truce talks stall. Israel struck one of the largest residential towers in Rafah in the southern Gaza Strip, stepping up pressure on the last area of the enclave it has started invading and where over 1.5 million displaced Palestinians are sheltering. The 12th-floor building was damaged in the strike, and dozens of families were made homeless, though no casualties were reported, but dozens are injured. One of the 300 residents of the tower, which is located some 500 meters from the border with Egypt, told Reuters Israel gave them a 30-minute warning to leave and flee the building at night, when most were sleeping. People were startled, running down the stairs, some fell, it was chaos. People left their belongings and money, said Mohammed al-Nabriz, adding that among those who tripped down the stairs during the panicked evacuation was pregnant women as well. The strike raised alarm among residents of a wider Israeli assault on Rafah, where more than half of Gaza's 2.3 million people are sheltering. Israel has said it plans to carry out operations in the area, which it has called Hamas's last bastion, but its pledge to do so only after civilians have evacuated has little meanings, if at all, as strikes are there on almost daily basis. Palestinians fear Israeli violence in Jerusalem as well during Ramadan, 5 months into Israel's unrelenting air and ground assault on Gaza. Health authorities say over 31,000 Palestinians have been killed and thousands more bodies are feared buried under rubble. Hamas on Saturday named 4 Israeli hostages as having died in Israeli strikes. The Israeli military did not immediately respond to the claim. The offensive has plunged Gaza, already reeling from a 17-year Israeli security blockade, into a humanitarian catastrophe for the Palestinians. In a speech marking Martyrs and Veterans Day in Egypt on Saturday, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said the cost of rebuilding Gaza could exceed $90 billion. Putting aside the human lives, much of the coastal enclave has been reduced to rubble and most of its population is displaced. With the warning of disease and starvation, a ship laden with relief supplies for Gaza was preparing to depart Cyprus. European Commission has said a maritime aid corridor between Cyprus and Gaza could start operating as early as this weekend in a pilot project run by an international charity and financed by the United Arab Emirates. 3 Palestinian children died of dehydration and malnutrition at the northern Al-Shifa hospital overnight, said Gaza Health Ministry spokesman Ashraf al-Qidra, raising to 23 the number of Palestinians who have died of similar causes in this week. This brutal war has ruptured any sense of a shared humanity, said Mirjana Spaljaric, president of the International Committee of the Red Cross. In a grief, she called for an end of hostilities, to allow for meaningful aid distribution in Gaza, for Hamas to release all hostages without conditions, and for Israel to treat Palestinians in its custody humanely, and to permit them to contact their families at least. Hamas blamed the deadlock on Israel, which has refused to give guarantees to end the war or pull its forces out of Gaza. Israel says the war will end only with the defeat of Hamas, whose ceasefire terms Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has called delusional and refused to accept. The Israeli military announced that over the past day it conducted arrests, located weapons and killed more than 30 militants in southern Khan Yunis, central Gaza and in its north. Gaza's health ministry said at least 82 people were killed in Israeli attacks yesterday. Medics said 23 people were killed in Khan Yunis and that in northern Gaza Israeli firing killed a Palestinian fisherman along the beach. Fears are mounting that during Ramadan, violence could also spiral in the occupied West Bank, where Israel has stepped up raids on Palestinians. The Palestinian Prisoners Association said on Saturday more than 7,500 Palestinians have been detained there by Israel since October 7. The Israeli military has said 3,500 Palestinian suspects have been arrested, some of them belonging to Hamas.